Afternoon. This is Mbuso Ngobese on Car Radio. Thanks to Ntokozo, and sorry we are a bit late, a little bit, but again we are here again as we are always here for you. It's always our promise ukuthi sohlezi sikhonela wena. So right now ke isikhathi sikanjena siyazi ukuthi wena uqhamuka emsebenzini or else emsebenzini, be a good driver on the road, even if uhamba ngeenyawo iba nje umgibeli all right, respect to driver, respect umuntu okudrivelayo, and make sure ukuthi umuntu eceleni kwakho uyambingelela akasinconke uzibe nendlela. Yeah, so kukanjena ke Car Radio Joyride Show, and ke kanjalo ke sibonga lapha ke konkosi SA and the previous show the sport bars, so we really appreciate that. So having said that, it's a beautiful day today, of which is very hot in Durban, of which is good because it's 9 December, counting down only like 22 days before we go to 2022, of which is I can't wait for it. And silasobona khona ukuthi ke khona kuzokwenzakalani ke ngoba phela ke ayifani iminyaka lenyaka usiphathe ngendlela nalo uyayawa usiphathe ngendlela, but sazilozo ukuphatha kanjani. But without wasting any time, we need to go and check on the top stories of the day since we are late and see what is really taking place in our country. And also we need to check ukuthi ke and so let's give a topic, so we'll tell you along the time, but let's just go fast and check on the top stories that we currently have since but typically this is how to adapt to a new system, singasizakala kanjani ukuthi adapt to a new system since ke sibona ukuthi izinto zonke senza ngendlela ebengafani nasekuqaleni. How to make sure ukuthi you don't complain but you adapt to a new system kahle ngendlela futhi we need to accept change. Having said that, let us continue to check again with the indaba ukuthi ziphi ehamba phambili since-ke isimo sikanje la eSouth Africa. Sasiqalana-ke sithi-ke i-National Assembly Speaker uNosiviwe Mampisa Nqakula has come to the defense of Deputy President David Mabuza in the National Assembly. So Mampisa Nqakula shielded Mabuza from answering questions about his trip to Russia to receive a specialist medical treatment. So MPs also squeezed Mabuza about whether the race footed the bill for his lengthy visit to Russian Federation. So Mabuza was back before MPs on Thursday afternoon. And the first question he faced from Democratic Alliance chief with Natasha Nazon, who asked him whether he was victim of poisoning. So, but the deputy president, when this was the question, Umazon said, "My deputy president, when you were gone, there was a lot of rumor or rama, yes, rumor, mongering going around, as you know. So in politics is everything, and we were being told that you have been specifically poisoned by members within your own ranks." So Mazon was asking, but Speaker Mampisa Nqakula was quick to call Mazon out of order. Then Mabuza did, however, assure MPs that he footed the bill for the visit in Russia in July. He said that I've covered the cost of my treatment, the traveling 100%, Mabuza was telling the court. So these are all stories that are really interesting in our country. And a bail judgment in the case of 6 men accused of murder of whistleblower Ubabita Diokaram has been postponed. So the group appeared in the Johannesburg Magistrate Court on Thursday, where they were remanded in custody. So Diokaran, who was the acting chief financial officer at the Gauteng Health Department, was murdered in August after she spoke out about multi-million rand PPE scandal. My goodness, this is very bad. Hey, this is very, 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 very bad. I think we need to check on this one as well. We need to go back to Anla. The bail hearing was adjourned on Thursday to give the court time to study and affidavit of one of the suspects regarding his nationality. So Magistrate Sipho Sibanyoni, you remand date of 20th of December for judgment to set down for 11:30. All 6 in custody, no bail fixed for all of you. But let's just go and check another news. Ahmed Katrada, Foundation Director Nielsen, but said that state capture had continued and that it was eating away at the public trust in government. So Balton was speaking at the virtual event commemorating International Anti-Corruption Day, and which was hosted by the Public Service Commissioning Department with the United Nations and UNISA. So Balton was warned that Balton has warned that citizens may. So remember, today we're gonna talk about. Connection that was happening. Hopefully everything is under control now. You can still hear us. Back on track. So we're still there on our top stories that we have here. Okay, just continue. Okay, the World Health Organization, WHO, Africa said that COVID-19 cases on the continent had shot by 93% over the past week. So the Omicron coronavirus variant has now been detected in at least 10 African countries and in around 60 worldwide. So Dr. Richard Mihigo, Immunization and Vaccine Development Program Director for WHO Africa, said that the continent accounted for 46% of about 1,000 Omicron COVID-19 cases, they said, globally. So Mihigo reiterated that imaging data show that the Omicron variant may cause less severe from COVID-19. So we hope that's what's gonna happen, because we don't need to die now. It's been so long. So we need to go back to our lives. Second thing that you need to check on the last thing: 7 people who have been arrested in connection with fraud and corruption involving emergency service officials in Prince Albert. So the areas were made on Wednesday, and the suspects include 3 fuel stations workers and 4 EMS personnel. It alleged that the EMS official worker with their alleged accomplice to defraud the state by allegation using state petrol card. Woo! Okay, right now I need to go and check to our topic for today and check once again how to adapt to a new system that is happening all the time. Because kubalulekile ukuthi if izinto zishintsha nathi sikwazi ukushintsha. Since ke kwenzeka izinto eziningi uyazi ukuthi kukhona unrest sibize kanjalo since ke kwenzeka lento ebiyenzeka lapha around May or July, around there, there was something they call it looting. Ngokwesintu webiza ukuthi bekutatshwa. Lezi zinto eziningi esifike lapho senzele indlela yashintsha since bevele siqala u-adapt change from the COVID-19. Wonke umuntu seyazi manje ukuthi uma esitolo imali yakhe ayiphelele mangasifakanga isifonyo, imask. So into esifuna i-daily life yethu manje ke. So each and every time if isikhathi sishintsha nendlela esiphila ngayo iyashintsha, isikhathi masiqhubeka ngendlela esiphila ngayo iyashintsha, and also kuzofela khona ukuthi uma ukuthi lesimo ofuna ukuqhubeka uphile kusona wena wedwa siyakuhlula, bese kuphoqa ukuthi ngena-ke oshintshweni olusha ungene kulona ukuze ukwazi ukuthi ke nawe uqhubeke ube nempilo. But ke how to change, how to adapt, kuyilona ibizwa nge-change, because yini i-change yona? I-change it's whereby izinto zenzeka ngokuhluka kunasekuqaleni. Remember before in Africa or in South Africa, I can say we used to use i-barter system where if maybe sidayiselana izinto lokuthi wena uzomnikeza inkomo mina ngonikeza imbuzi, then libizwa nge-barter system. Noma ngizomnikeza amadumbe mina ngikunikeza ubhatata ngoba unobhatata omningi. That was i-barter system, kushintshelana ngezinto ey'phathekayo, imali ingekho, yabo. So we still had our own way to live life, and it's been so cool. I think there was no problem because if umhlabathi wami uvuma ukuthi ngitshale amadumbe, it's my own way of surviving. And if umhlabathi wakho uvuma ukuthi utshala amaklabishi, it is your own way of surviving. So in that way, there was a system that was working that was called the barter system, whereby mina amaklabishi ami amaningi ngalanga ngisho ngithi nginikeza amaklabishi awu-10, ngizonikeza amasaka amazambane awu-10 noma amasaka amadumbe awu-10. In that way impilo yayiqhubeka, usuyakwazi ukumixa, yabo, there and there. If imfuyo yami iningi kakhulu, ngifuya kakhulu izimvu, khipha izimvu eziwu-2, unikeza inkomo eyodwa, then sengikwazi ukuba ney'nkomo nxa ukuthi nginikeza izimvu, nawe sikwazi ukuba nezimvu. So this was isidala leso. And if usibheka okusidala esi-right because akekho umuntu wayeswela izinto, engekho uba selfish ngoba wonke umuntu wayebona ukuthi ngizoyenza into eningi ngoba manje eningi enginayo ayingisizi ngoba iyodwa, I need to ukuthi ngishintshashintshe. Ngaleyo ndlela kwakulula kanjalo. But-ke izinto zashintsha kwafika nemali. When money comes, then imali yenziwa yane-value over ama-items noma over ama-farms asinawo, because we used to have farm as well. If unemfuyo unefarm lakho, kwangathi imali is more important more than i-farm, more than to have a cow, more than to have sheep and goats. But the truth is, money is nothing without those things. Without cow, without farming, there is no money. Money has no value. So if you can even start by now, we as the community of South Africa start by sowing something, planting something wherever, having our own gardens, our own farms. Those big companies, you know them, that are selling food, they can start falling. Why? It's because they use what we used to have before to change the system so that you can go and buy from their stores. It's like they changed everything. Our priorities, they took all of our priorities to be theirs, and they gave us money as a priority that we need to prioritize every day. Only to find that what they do right now, they're selling those cars back to us, those cows back to us. They're selling those goats. We used to have lots of goats. Not a lot of Mbuso. Choose no name was 150. But now to have 150 cars, 150 goats, it's like you have all mandindana. It's like manje uyathakatha kanti lento yayivele khona kudala. It was easy for us to do that. Uba nenkomo ezu-200, it was nothing. Yabo, that is where this is competition khona ukuthi ucebe kangakanani ukuthi ube nemfuyo eningi. But manje sekuyimali. Of which mawubuyele emuva ubhekisa kahle ukuthi imali kahle kahle iyilento esasinayo kudala. Ngaphandle kwalento lena ngoba imali ithenga leyo ayikho imali, yabo. So same thing applies. If you can see, hlale phansi ubuke inkomo esikuncane mhlawumbe nje ise iqala ukuba yidunyanyana noma iqala ukuba isitholana ingakafiki ebuthweni obuphelele, imali yakhona ibancane. If iqhubeka imhlandla yenyuka nemali yanyuka, nemali yanyuka. Same thing nakhona ke la emalini khona no-10 rand, 20 rand, 30, 40, 50. So yabona ukuthi nemali yakhona imali nama-levels. But only thing that you need to do if ufuna yakho ikhule, you need ukuthi itshale. But ey'lwaneni, even though okunye wakutshala okufuywayo this and that, kodwa inkomo ukuze ikhule uyayinakekela ibiseyikhulela, awufaki lutho enkomeni. Akufani nasebhizinisini, you need to work, hire some people to work with you, yabo, until ukwazi ukuthi wenze imali. What I'm saying is i-change, and i-change isiphuzile ukuyi-accepta ngoba bekune-colonialism whereby-ke uforce ukuthi uzofika ku-change. But system isafana kodwa ihluke ngokuthi khona okwabekwa phambili kwa-prioritise kwayinto esiyi-prioritize zakho. But-ke what you can say is-ke si-adapta kanjani kwi-system esivele sisebenza ungena-choice kuyona, yabo. You learn lezi ezintsha ngalo system ukuthi okay, right now sekusebenza imali, how to make money, need to go deeper. And-ke the sad story about making money or adapting to a change is that when you study that particular thing, you need to have a research and need to make sure ukuthi you work hard. Imali idinga ukuthi usebenze hard because imali ayihlali, yabo. And into yemali ukuze kuphume imali ifuna ufake enye imali. Can you imagine if you have no money? That means you have to start ke manje le mali yadlana ebunayo encane ube khona ozoyisave, and to save it you need strategy nokubekezela ukuthi mangisave imali I can save money even for 10 years ukuze ngikwazi ukuthi ngibe nemali. So I think system yasifeyila la khona thina makumele besifundise ukuthi how to make money, because basifundise to make money is to work. So isystem yamanje it commands us ukuthi ngeke sisebenze, and we really sibeka phambili ukusebenza. If umuntu engasebenzi sibuka ngathi akana kusasa, kodwa umuntu oyisebenzayo simbuka ngathi umuntu oyisebenzayo simbuka ngathi uyahlupheka, kanti umuntu oyisebenzayo umuntu ocebile ngokwengqondo, yabo. But ke let us a change eyifika nabelungu ukuthi okay, even though sifika nezinto ezikanjena zokuthi we are changing from i-barter system to money system, buying system, kube khona i-buy and sell, kube khona i-market, because there was no market before. Thina kwethu kwakuthi you change, if ubona ukuthi awusina choice you change, and now uqala ukuthi okay, because they are starting, and ofuna bebona la ngesikhathi kuqala abelungu bedayisa iy'nkomo, ofuna bebona ukuthi iy'nkomo esinazo sigcine, so that sikwazi nathi ukuthi sidayisa iy'nkomo. But ke yabambalwa imizi yafana ney'nkomo, and ke ngendlela iy'nkomo zasifela ngayo akwazakanga ukuthi wakwenzakalani lapho, ngoba ezethi iy'nkomo zafa, kufika izifo esingazazi, opheka umkhono zafa iy'nkomo. So wagcina i-system ishintsha ngempela ukuthi yamanje-ke ayikho into ongayenza, need to adapt to a new system. So ke life is ever changing, so that is always true. But lately for many of us life was seemed nearly unrecognizable, but talk about change due to physical distancing guidelines, our world were flipped nearly upside down, and we've had to make adjustments. So we've had to adapt to and overcome. So that is the key. So when you face life inevitable ups and downs, having the resiliency to stand up and meet new challenges is imperative. So it is always easy, and the whole balance actually is but as a licensed professional lapho sebenzisho nje bona ngesingakuthi balabiza ngama-counselors yonke nje, but ke what you recognize is that change is happening. So it is common for people to ignore the change that is happening around them for various reasons, yabo. So yento enza lawo if singabantu i-change siyazama nakuthi ignore. So what you can do is that you write down the positives. So not all change is bad, even it seems so at the time. Think back to time in your life when you feared change, but in the end what you feared most didn't happen at all. In fact, you thrived. So change can be scary, but it's not always bad. While write down example of when you felt afraid of change but realized that change was for the better, and keep those close when you feel yourself getting anxious of what's to come. So having personal memories of when you overcame a change and it resulted in positive outcome can help case your current fears. So when possible you need to prepare. Sometimes we see that change coming. So in those cases, such as starting a new job or moving to a new city, or you can take steps to prepare yourself. Even if in the midst of chaos, you can see light at the end of the tunnel. So knowledge is power and can build your confidence that the change you are embarking on will be a success. Another thing that you can do is just to quiet your mind in the midst of the change we fear. So our thoughts can be our worst enemy, but be conscious of what your mind is telling you. So it's like, are you fear of a racial, or are you possibly on allowing yourself to focus on the worst possible outcome? So the thing is, you need to be like, another thing that you can do, you need to be kind on yourself. So in times of change, we can feel a bit out of control, but this is normal. Remember to give yourself a break and be kind to yourself. And this is to be kind to ourselves. It's very, very difficult. I don't know why. but it's like sometimes we like kind. We lack kindness to ourselves. So you know what? We all struggle at times. So no one can operate at 100% or 100% of the time. Forgive yourself for those times. Incorporate laughter when you can too. So laughter can be the best medicine. Another thing you can do is talk it out. Finally, if you still mind yourself truly struggling with the change you are facing, seek help. Knowing yourself well enough to realize you need assistance is a sign of strength. And no one goes through life alone. So fighting a family or friends can give you the support you needed, you are needing. So you can so lekho kungakusiza kakhulu ke to go even to therapy ke if umntwana, but ke change is always good, guys, and change, it's something that can make us better. But it is very important ukuthi ke when it comes to change, learn about the change, with the change is a none, so that you can start preparing yourself with, okay, since kuzinto kanje ukwenza njani, since kuzinto kanje ulate kuphi and u-early kuphi. So mawubona ukuthi okay lana uthanda ukuba late, hlanganisa ke phela indlela ongenza ngayo ukuthi ke this is where I can start, what is needed in the current moment. Mwele ukuthi nge-COVID-19 abantu abahlezi bese abantu abahlezi bebheka amathuba ngasonke isikhathi, like Chinese babona i-COVID-19 as ilokhuzana, as the opportunity, and then they made a lot of money, even though sasinzima kodwa benza imali ngalokho bona. Nabanye abantu abasebahlakanipha bekwazi ukuthi wazi kangcono indaba yama-medicines. It was a way to go to open a pharmacy and make more money, because was ibiza kanje, awazi sanitizer ibiza kanje, but abanye abantu they took advantage and we change ayenzeka, then they make a lot of money. I remember it's supposed to be 10 rand, yabo. So izinto zonke lezo ezafike zashintsha isimo, but ke you know what, it's life. Abanye mafika i-change khona benefita khona abalahlekelwayo. It's life and you can't be able to deny it's gonna happen. If ubulele uzobona lethi uthi yes ngabe ngenza imali la, but ke angiyenzanga imali. Why imali ungayenzanga? Ngoba vele ungekho ready for ukuthi khona i-change ezayo. So other thing that you need to have here is accepting change and answering your viewer. So once you've evaluated your response to change, it's important to consider the way your view model, the way for others in your organization to embrace change. So employees can take cues from their leaders about how to respond, which is why you need your own point of view of how to accept, embrace, and lead through a change. A leader must be a visionary, aspiring, enthusiasm, and wise. Almost uyasebenza ngasekufika change, yabo, uyamdinga nomuntu ohlakaniphile ozokwazi ukuthi mafika change akwazi ukuthi abe ne-vision for i-change, abe inspiration, abe ne-enthusiasm, aphinde futhi ahlakaniphe. So focus on today's results while also imagining the future. So be willing to challenge the status and also take calculated risk and anticipate the unexpected. So inspiring. So sell the vision and its benefit. Be passionate, model the intended change, and encourage employees to join the change in future. And also enthusiasm. So maintain a positive focus attitude that energize others to overcome barriers. So be patient and be persistent and involve others to collaborate. And a leader must be wise, exude business, and also acumen and knowledge of the organization, its people and process. So be able to anticipate and address issues as a problem solver. Leader must be someone who can be able to do all those things. So there are 3 types of flexibility adapting to a change. First thing is cognitive flexibility. So leverage the ability to use different thinking, strategize and mental framework. Number 2 is emotional flexibility. So it harness the ability to vary one's approach to dealing with emotions and those of others. And number 3, it is positional flexibility. Practice the ability to remain optimistic and as at the same time realistic. So let's just start with the first one here. That's cognitive flexibility. So leaders who have cognitive flexibility are able to incorporate different thinking strategies and mental framework into their planning, decision making, and management for day-to-day work. So they can simultaneously hold multiple scenarios in mind and can see when to shift and inject a change. So cognitive flexibility indicates nimble, divergent thinking and interest in developing new approach, the ability to see and leverage new connection, and the propensity to work and well across the organization. These leaders readily learn from experience and recognize when old approach don't work. Another one here we have is emotional flexibility. Leaders with emotional flexibility, they vary their approach to dealing with their own and others' emotions. An area that many leaders often fail to consider an emotional flexibility, and leader is compatible with process of grieving, complaining, anxiety, and assistance. So adapting to change requires give and take between the leader and those experiencing the change. So a leader without emotional flexibility is dismissive of others' concerns and emotional and shut down discussion. At the same time, an emotional adaptive leader move to change of agenda forward. So by disposition flexibility, it is where now we practice the ability to remain optimistic and at the same time realistic. So leaders who display dispositional flexibility, as well as a personality-related flexibility, operate from a place of optimism, grounding in a realistic and opening. They will acknowledge the bad situation, but simultaneously visual a better future. So they are at either neither blind positive or no pessimistic and defeatist. So ambiguity is well tolerated. So is a dispositionally flexible leaders see change as an opportunity rather than as a threat or danger. So by learning and practicing behavior that boost your cognitive, emotional, and dispositional flexibility, you can become more adaptable and in return. So help others to adapt. Even in the change, if change comes, somebody who leads you is very important. It's very, very important. So it's like if you are adapted to change, you need to be curious. Don't get too attached to a single plan or strategy. So create support system. Understand your own reaction to change, and also immerse yourself in new environments and situations. Those are the things that you need to have. So ask a lot of questions. Wonder, explore, and consider before you judge and decide. So don't get too attached to a single plan or strategy. So have plan B and C at the ready, and also create support system. Don't go it alone. Look to mentors, friends, coaches, trusted peers, professionals, colleagues, family members, and others to serve as your support system in times of change. So encourage employees to do the same. Understand your own reaction to change. So you have to be a clear about your own emotions and also the thoughts and about changes, so you can be straightforward with others. So immerse yourself in a new environment and situation. So do this when you are confronted to change, but get practice by joining activities, meeting new people, and trying new things on a regular basis. So yeah, those are all things that you need to adapt on when there is a change, because all new change you can't change the change. If change is here, you need to adapt on the change. But abantu human being is umuntu okwazi ukushintsha yabona abantu abakwazi ukushintsha kalula, but ushintsho salenqaba yabo. Icwaningo lokushintsha luthi-ke we are easily to be changed, or we are easy to adapt to a change, but we are the one who doesn't want to, who don't want to change all the time. But I would say use your advantage of being an easily changer and change every time. I think I've taught myself as well to change easy now. It's very easy for me to change. If something comes, then I just allow the situation to happen and I start enjoying the new system of living. Even now, I'm living in a new system and it's quite impressive. And I even blame myself with why didn't I start to do what I'm doing maybe 10 years ago? Because and they're not even mhlambe ngabe ngikude kumanje, even if ngabe usha anginayo imali kodwa ngokwengqondo ngabe kuningi adapt ukuthi that's how into zenzeka. Because okunye seng-adaptile ukuthi abantu they need umsebenzi kodwa bakuthanda ukusebenza yabo. I think angiyazi nje ngisho ukuthi sounds like something that's not real, but ask abantu abasebenzayo yabo, ask abantu abaney'nkampani, ask abantu abasoney'nkampani benjalo bese beba nabantu abaqashiwe, then you will see ukuthi the reason why senzathola sizathu sokuthi kahle kahle in the end into eyenza abantu ukuthi begcine bengasarejistwa manje ukuthi abantu abakuthanda ukusebenza. Once abantu basebenza barejistwa bajoyine i-union, once they've joined ama-union bafuna ukusebenza, ama-union ayabalela ukuthi benyuselwe imali, hence abasebenzi yabo. So this is the problem. Ubona sekuwa khona ama-contracts all the time and they've created ama-agent, because umuntu once waba registered ukazoyenza uyojoyina i-union, ahlangana i-union iyanilwela iyanistrikisa iyanikhulumela kunyusa amaholo this and that. Emva lokho sekuqhamiseka ngama-rights too much, umsebenzi awenziwe, emva lokho awuxosheki, umuntu uyamxosha funa aphume nesigidi semali. Then nabenza system evuna bona sisenza ama-contracts manje, umuntu asayine u-3 months contracts per inyanga avuselela. In that way you can't be permanent. So a system now ba-adapte kuyona bephakathi babona ukuthi since abantu sibaqashi bengafuni ukusebenza, how can we defeat the system yabo yama-agent? Because ama-agent ayi-business azofuna imali yabasebenzi and zazobakhulumela. But you remember isikhathi on 2007 was doing umatric lapho ngizosikhosatho, I'm not sure, kodwa khathi uthisha beteleka noma inathu, kodwa leyo nto ethiya u-teachers union nona kodwa ngesikhathi kutelekwa kwatelekwa for 3 months or 3 or 2 months telekiwe, kodwa siteleka eside kunaso South Africa yabo. It's the longest strike ever that has ever happened in South Africa, kodwa ama-union awasebenzelanga, but still even today they're still paying for union. So kusho-ke ama-unions are not guaranteed, but bahlala phansi abaqashi babona ukuthi lento ye-union iyabalimaza, ba-create a system over a system ukuthi okay le system yabo ngafuna ukusebenza nathi sifuna system yethu, akekho umuntu manje esizomregister esizoyenza register bambalwa asibona ukuthi bakuthanda ukusebenza, others bazoba ama-temporary babiza bakuthanda thina, or else bafanele ama-contracts unyaka nonyaka bayavuselela. Then-ke bathi sasuyithi change yayisishwile. So every time need somebody ozoba lapho kwi-planning if come a change with how do we deal with this new system so that you can move forward. Yeah, so I think everything is under control, and still you are still listening to Car Radio. My name is Mbuso Ngobese. You gotta check on the word of God before we go, because we know the word of God is the best thing has ever happened to us. There's no more guidance. Yonke into ihamba ngendlela efuneka ukuthi ihambe ngayo, so I'm happy for that. uNkulunkulu ke usinikeze ihlobo. Even right now I'm working in Moria lapho ngikhona, ilanga liyashisa yonke into ihamba kahle. It's summer, we enjoy summer as we are people from Durban. We are still encouraging yonke abantu abasuka kwamanye provinces to come to Durban. Guys, please come to Durban. We need you. We need to uzwa ama-languages ahlukene, just because we have a beautiful beach and shower mnandi, clean and not dangerous. Okay, so come to Durban, we are welcoming you. But go and read the word of God and see ukuthi uNkulunkulu wethu sinikeza namhlanje, as always sinikeza ukudla kosuku nosuku. So we are really appreciating isikhathi ukasinikeza sona. But let's just start here. The Lord is our ultimate protector and defender. Unless the Lord uses our lives, everything else is meaningless. Unless the Lord protects us, no army will be able to fully secure us. But with the Lord is in our life, He steps in and cause our life to be fruitful. Okay, let's go up and go Luke 1 verse 25. The Lord has done this for me, she said. In these days, He has shown His favor. So, guys, your Heavenly Father is a good Father. He has plans for you. He has plans for your good, and plans to bless you, to bless us. So, in the most unlikely time, He will show us His favor and kindness. So we will also rejoice because He has been good to us. So this is the verse from Luke 1 verse 25. Guys, it's December. Please process yourself. Please make sure ukuthi siyakubona ngo-2022 singokubona ungcono kulokho yikhona, and just know ukuthi uNkulunkulu all the time He wants to make us better. He wants to use us for the benefit of others. So please share. If wazi ukuthi ngoChristmas unomndeni oyisela Christmas ngakwazi ukungenelela, go there and buy even something for them, then they will rejoice. And if wazi nomsebenzi ongase unikeza abantu ukwazi ukubakhokhela, hire people. As long as they are willing to work, hire people. But ngoba ngishilo ngathi experience enginayo kulento engiyenza kulezi nsuku, I've seen ukuthi most of people, they like to get a job, but they don't want to comply, or they don't want to work. No. If we first ask them, can you work? The first thing that they ask from you is not a payment. They ask you when is the off? How many days do we take it off? You see, umuntu kahle ukhela wakhe ekhaya for 8 years angasebenzi, akusamphathi kabi, akanankinga nalokho. So in that way, but have a blessed day. Thanks to Ntokozo in our studios. Have a blessed day. God bless you. Goodbye.